Hi guys, this is JC and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on this video and tell you a little bit more about me that I didn't get to mention in the AuthorTube newbie tag video. Of course, I'm a writer, but I did not mention that I am also a freelance editor. I do copy edits and proofreading. I used to do ghostwriting, but it's a lot more taxing, and I'm an empath, so some of the stories that I was ghostwriting for were really emotional, and I just decided I couldn't do ghostwriting anymore, so I just keep it at copy editing, line by line edits. I don't do developmental edits, and proofreading. Also about me, I have a 16-year-old daughter. She'll be 17 May 1st. So hopefully this video is coming before May 1st, but if not, she's already 17. I am a single mom, so I'm betting that my daughter probably wishes that writing was not my only career at times. There's always a lot of things that she wants, and I can't make it happen because bills that keep the house running, they have to come first. So, but my daughter's also a creative, so I think she kind of gets it. My daughter draws. She does. She wants to be an animator. She wants to do 3D animated movies, and yeah, she's pretty awesome. And I wouldn't trade being a mother for anything because it's the best job in the whole entire world. And the fact that she's a creative, and we have this thing where she goes into her drawing cave, which is her room, and I go into my writing cave, which is my room, and every now and then we check on each other and see what we're doing for the day as far as our creative work. And I think it's pretty cool to have a kid that gets it, that what you do and your art and how much it means to you, as a kid, as much as a kid can understand anyway. But I've been writing freelance full-time since my daughter was about 5, so for over 10 years now. And it's not easy being a freelance writer and editor. The income is, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's great, depending on the kind of client you get. And then sometimes, like during a global pandemic, which we are in now, is not that great, which is understandable, and you just have to find ways to make it work. Writing is my passion. It's what I've always wanted to do, so I never regret choosing writing as a full-time. I do wonder sometimes if maybe I should have kept working a day job a little longer than I did, but what's done is done. Can't go back and change it now, so it is what it is. I also have a digital online magazine called Write to Be Magazine. Write to Be Magazine started off as a magazine that took all different kinds of content: short stories, poetry, articles, blog posts, as a column. But it's evolved more into a magazine where I do author interviews, and I want to focus on getting authors, new and old, and promoting their books, getting the readers to know a little bit more about the author that they're reading from. And so that's what Write to Be Magazine is now. I hope to eventually be able to get into publishing content again when the magazine is able to actually pay people for their work, because I feel like writers should get paid for the work that they do, and at this time we're not able to do that. So but I do freelance editing and writing. That is my income. That's how I make my income, although in the midst of a global pandemic right now, that's not really happening. So if you want information about my services or how can you retain my editing services, it's on my website at www.write-to-b.com. It'll be a link below in the description box. If you want information on my magazine and how you can be interviewed and have your book featured in the magazine, it's www.write-to-bmagazine.com. And I have a publishing company which isn't necessarily off the ground yet, but I have everything in place that I'm going to use to publish, starting with my books and eventually to publish other books, and it's under the Right to Be Media umbrella. And I created Right to Be as a way to be able to publish my own books and to be able to publish other people's books who maybe weren't feeling like they were getting seen from traditional publishers and from the traditional editors and things like that, because society has a certain idea of what they want to publish and what's trending or what's marketable. And I just wanted to create something that, if you have talent, if it's a good story, that it will get published. And that's how the whole Right to Be got started. It started as a newsletter that was actually called something totally different before. It's called Free Fall Newsletter, in which I created, turned it into Right to Be, because I felt like the message was stronger and I wanted to basically use writing as a method that people can use to be themselves. I think writing is very much of a therapeutic practice for a lot of people. So I'm a person that has used writing to cope with a lot of different things: my depression, my anxiety, a lot of my fears. So writing is I feel like writing helps me be the person I'm meant to be. So the whole premise is, you can write to be whoever it is that you want to be. If you want to use writing to make you feel more courageous, more bold, more fearless, more authentic, then write to be that. Now, I mentioned that I've been freelance writing for about 10 years, on and off, but with some regular 9-to-5 jobs in between. But what I didn't mention is that I haven't actually been that successful at it. Not because I'm not a good editor. Personally, I might be a little biased, but I think I'm a great editor. I have other writing friends who've had me edit their work who think I'm a great editor. Problem is, I haven't always had the best confidence in my writing or in the ability to be able to ask for the amount of compensation that I deserved. So I would always do editing favors. I'd edit someone's work for, as a favor to them, or they would tell me they would pay me later, and then I would never get the money, and then I would just forgive it and, maybe edit something else for them down the line as another favor. Or I would lowball my pricing range to certain clients and not ask for the money that I was really should have been asking for. So I haven't always had the most success at freelance writing, not as much success as I should have, having doing it for 10 years. But I'm hoping to turn that around starting this year. And I know that it's crazy times we're in to be trying to level yourself up, but I finally have the confidence in my skills and my abilities to be able to ask for what I know I'm worth. And so I hope that I can turn things around and be able to charge the amount that I'm worth without an issue. And we all have bouts of self-doubt or imposter syndrome, which I've struggled with that as well. And sometimes it makes us not require what we know that we are worth. And I'm done not asking for the amount of money that I should be paid, and I'm done doing favors. I have friends now that I've explained to them that they need the editing from now on. There will be a fee. I may give them the family and friends discount, but there is a fee up front that is non-refundable, and I won't start any work until it's paid. The favor train is over. On a separate note, I am very excited that I just finished one of the novels I was working on yesterday. I actually finished on Courtney's live stream at the Courtney Project. If you haven't been to her channel, please go check it out because it's awesome. I finished on her live stream the other night, and it's such a mixed feeling when you finish a novel because you're excited, but then it's emotional because you've been attached to these characters and this story for a long time. And it's actually my first time writing mystery, but I love it because I love reading mystery now. And it's an investigative reporter who works with a homicide detective, and they kind of solve cases together. And they're dating by the second book anyway. By the end of the first one, they're dating. So just finished the second one in that. I haven't outlined the series, but I know the focal point of the third book, the fourth book, and maybe even the fifth book. I have another story that I want to write that focuses on mother-daughter relationships, and that one's a little harder for me because it's a little personal. There's a little personal that will enter into the book because my mother and I don't have the best of relationships, so a little bit of that will probably enter. But the story is it's forming. I don't know if that's going to be the next one that I do, but I actually fun fact on that one, I actually finished it a while ago. The mother-daughter story that I'm talking about, I wrote the story on a different computer, and that computer crashed and the entire novel was gone. The only thing I was able to get back was the first 10 chapters that I had just so happened to send to someone else to critique. And now that I read the 10 chapters back, I'm like, maybe it was a good thing the computer crashed, because I don't know if I see the story the same way anymore. And it's probably because a lot of the second half of that book I went off outline. I had outlined the story, but the story went somewhere else as I was writing it, and I just kind of went off outline, but I didn't go back and redo the outline, so I can't recreate that, and that hurt. It's probably why it's taken me so long to get back to rewriting that book, because losing it hurt. You guys know, losing your books is like losing your babies. Not really, but it's the next love of my life. My child is the first, and fortunately I have plenty of story ideas, but now I have to begin the outlining process for the next one, and so that's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm excited that I just finished a novel. I have a lot of works in progress going on. I have an ebook coming out soon. It's more of a spiritual motivation for writers who self-sabotage. I am the biggest person who self-sabotages or who has been guilty. I'm working on it. I'm getting better at not sabotaging myself. Part of that is starting this channel because I've been told for a long time that I should start a YouTube channel, but I'm really not comfortable being on camera, can't you tell? I'm gonna say a lot of ums. I have a lot of nervous tics that I hope I will get better at not displaying, but public speaking was never my thing in high school. Not to say that I haven't spoken publicly, it's very, very, my anxiety does not do well with public speaking. And I know that this is not technically public because it's just a camera, and it's really, I'm just talking to myself, which is what I keep trying to tell myself every time I shoot this video or videos. But I hope the nervousness will go away. I hope you guys will bear with me as my nervousness goes away, because this will take a minute to get used to. I like it. I like watching other people do it. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and out of that box that I've always kept myself in. I realize that you can't grow if you don't, step out of the box. And so this is me trying to grow. And I would give you guys a tour of the house, except for my house is a little junky right now. All you get to see is the lovely bookshelf behind me, and I think I may do a video on some of the books on my shelf. I have a little mini library in my living room. I can maybe take you on a tour of a little bit of it, because again, it's a little junky in here right now, and I haven't really had the time or felt like cleaning it up. I've been writing, and that's it, and I'm hoping that you tune in for the next video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.